The minor natural scale is the most important scale because if you look at the minor harmonic scale, it is just a modification with just a slight variation on the 7th note. And today we're doing a tutorial that teaches us how to form, practice, and also how to do the chords of a minor scale. So far, every beginning pianist normally starts by learning about the major scale. And the scale is just a set of 7 notes which are arranged in a particular interval that forms the scale. We've got several scales. We have the major scale, we have the minor scale, we have the pentatonic, the blues scales, the whole tone scale, and all those scales. But as we're beginning, remember it is always advisable that once you practice a particular major scale, then you go ahead and practice its relative minor scale. And that's why today I'm doing this tutorial to help us understand in details, because actually this is a necessary skill that any beginning keyboardist should have. So how do we form a minor scale? Just to recap, a major scale, as I'd already explained in my previous tutorial, is built by having the first, the second, and the third notes being a tone away. The third and the fourth is a semitone. The fourth and the fifth, similarly, the fifth and the sixth tone are also a tone away. The sixth and the seventh is a tone away, and then the seventh and the eighth tone is a semitone. But today we're looking at the minor scale, and by the way, this is Nick's piano. The tutorial today is in the key of flat E. So I'll start by spelling out the flat E minor scale. Thereafter I'll explain how it is formed. This is flat E, so the flat E minor scale. So we have that. Sorry. So if you look at what I'm playing, you'll notice that in forming the minor scale, and this applies to all the keys, but for today's tutorial I've chosen on this D sharp or flat E. The first and the second tone of a minor scale is a whole tone away, then the second and the third is a semitone. I hope you can see clearly my fingers. Then the third and the fourth is a tone away. The fourth and the fifth is a tone away similarly. Then the fifth and the sixth is a semitone away. The sixth tone and the seventh note is a whole tone. And then for the minor natural scale, the seventh and the eighth is also a tone away. At this point, it is important for me to say that the minor natural scale can be modified to form what we are calling the harmonic minor scale. I'm going to explain that as the tutorial progresses. But first of all, this is what we have come with in the scale of D sharp or flat E. We have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, back to number 8. So for a minor natural scale, we have 1. So you've got to practice this, and just an insight, a slight insight, you will realize that if you look at the notes of this minor natural scale, you'll notice that it is this note here is the minor third for the flat G, or this flat E is, this is the minor third of flat G, or you can say flat G is the major third of flat E. So that is also important, especially when you are starting. You can quickly pick up. That will help you to relate the major scales and the minor scale. Like when you are in the flat E minor scale, it is important. You'll notice that it is like we are playing in the flat G major scale, but then we are starting this scale from the sixth note, or the relative minor, so that we have this. So you're going to practice all that, first of all in this key of flat E, and thereafter you'll translate that into all the other scales. Remember, the interval rule remains that the first and the second is a tone away, the second and the third note is a semitone, the third and the fourth is a whole tone, the fourth and the fifth is a whole tone, the fifth and the sixth is a semitone, the sixth and the seventh is a semitone, and the seventh and eighth is a semitone. So that is what we have for the minor natural scale. And I did mention at the start that the minor natural scale can be modified to form what we call the harmonic minor scale. And in this case, the scale is just the same, only that the seventh note is now sharpened, so that we have D. So we play D as the 7th here. So it is like we are back to just the natural flat E where D is the 7th. Remember, in the minor natural scale, we have this one here as the 7th note, but this is what we have for the harmonic minor scale. So now that the scale is clear, let us try to understand now the numbers, the diatonic chords of this minor scale. Because remember, as we said, in the major scale, the diatonic chords, chord number 1 is a major chord, number 4 and number 5 are major, 2, 3, and 6 are minor, and then chord 7 is the diminished chord. But that slightly changes when we are talking about the minor scale, be it the minor natural or the minor harmonic. Like in this particular scale, chord number 1 is normally played as a minor. So we are going to play the flat E as the minor triad, or we can play the minor 7. This is allowed. So the voicing will be either minor triad or minor 7. And then chord number 2 is going to be played as the half diminished or the minor 7 flat 5. So this is our number 2. This is the minor 5, and then we have, this is number 2, this is F. So the F major chord is this is F minor. And remember, the 7, the minor 7 is supposed to be this. And then we flatten the 5th. So you can also look at it as just the normal diminished triad, and then we had that 2 tones away. So we have this one as our chord number 2. This voicing can also be inverted, and you can even play it down here as this. So this becomes our minor 7 flat 5, and that is the scale degree. In terms of scale degrees, when we play chord number 1 in the minor scale as the minor triad or the minor 7, then chord number 2 will now be played as the minor 7 flat 5, and this is what we have. We have the minor 7 here. This is our minor 7, but we are talking of flat 5 here. So we have the minor 7 flat 5. Then chord number 3 is played as a major, so we'll play the F sharp major chord. We can also play it as a major 7. There is nothing wrong with that, but that is what is going to be there. Then chord number 4 is played as a minor chord. So this is our chord number 4. We'll play as the minor triad or the minor 7th triad. So we have, this is number 4. But as we are going to see, if at all we decide to voice it in the minor harmonic scale, then number 4 is played as a dominant 7. So instead of having this minor 7, we'll have the dominant 7 of this chord, and this is what we have. So it is just a matter of changing those 2 notes there. So that is for number 4. In the minor natural scale, remember we play it as the minor 7. Then we have chord number 5, and chord number 5 is supposed to be played here as a dominant 7, once again when we borrow from the minor harmonic scale. But when we're playing purely on the minor natural scale, then we play it as a minor chord. So our number 5 here, remember we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 5 will be played as a minor triad, or we can play it as the minor 7 when we are doing the minor natural scale. Then number 6, in the minor scale, number 6 is played as a major. So in this particular scale, when we have this as minor, then we have this as the half diminished, then we play this as major, this is minor, then we also play this as minor, then number 6 is now going to be played as a major, so we play the B major or the B major 7, depending on the voicing that you require. And then finally we have chord number 7, and the chord number 7, and we said for the minor natural scale, the C sharp is our number 7, and chord number 7 is played as a dominant 7 chord. That's very important. In the minor natural scale, we'll play this as the dominant 7. So this is what we have for the dominant 7 chord. Remember, this is our C sharp major triad, and then we add the flat 7 here, so that we form the dominant 7 chord. So we'll have this. And then we are back to number 1, which is the flat E minor 7. So in when we're looking at the chord numbers and the scale degrees in the minor natural scale, then we'll have number 1, we'll have number 2, then number 3. I'll just do the major here. We have number 4, and we said number 4 is played as a minor, so we have number 4. Number 5 is also minor. Number 6 is played as a major, so we have 6 major. Then number 7 is played as a dominant 7th chord here. And then we back to number 1. So if you look at the two scales, I said that the minor harmonic scale is just a modification. And the only slight modification which is done in this scale is that the 7th note of the scale, if you look at the minor natural, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 7th note is just raised by a semitone, is sharpened. So it means that when we are in the minor harmonic scale now, in terms of scale degrees, we'll have just a slight variation. Remember, I did mention that chord number 5, when we are looking at the minor harmonic scale, then instead of playing it as the minor chord, we play it as dominant 7. So it means the first alteration is that number 1 will be minor as usual. Number 2 will be the minor 7 flat 5, or the half diminished. Chord number 3 is major, or you can play the major 7. Chord number 4 is minor. We have the minor. So if we are in the minor harmonic scale, then when we go to chord number 5, then instead of playing the minor, then we play the dominant 7 chord. So for the minor harmonic scale, instead of playing this minor chord, we'll play the dominant 7 chord. So that is the sound. Let me play it in the lower octave here. That will be the sound. You can get there is a difference in quality, because if you are in the minor natural scale, we'll have, so this is the minor 7 and this is the dominant 7. So in the minor harmonic scale, chord number 5 will play it as the dominant. Then the 6 remains the major. There is no much alteration, whether in the minor harmonic or in the minor natural scale. Then the other alteration is in the 7th. If we play chord number 7 as the dominant 7, just like we did here, remember this is what we had and we played this as the dominant 7, in the minor natural scale. If we now decide to play in the minor harmonic scale, then the chord number 7, and remember we have said we are going to raise this 7, it's just becoming the natural 7, like when you are in the major scale. But now we play it as the diminished 7. So instead of using what we used here as the dominant 7 in the minor natural scale, in the minor harmonic scale, we'll now play the diminished 7, and this is our diminished 7th chord. Remember, this is the diminished triad, the D diminished triad, so we add the 6th there, and then we have the diminished 7th. So if at all we were to do the minor harmonic scale, then this would be chord number 1, this would be chord number 2, this would be number 3, the major, number 4 would be minor, number 5 will now play the dominant 7, number 6 will play the major, then number 7, which is now this one here, will play the diminished 7. And then we back to number 1, which is played as a minor chord. If at all you're finding value in this tutorial, please don't fail to like this video, share it, and if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscription button so that you can help me develop the channel. I hope the major highlight of what we're saying today is basically how do we form this scale, and then it is advisable that you start by forming the scale and playing it all through. You do the first hand a piece, do the two hands, then you try to form the scale degrees of this particular scale, where we raise it, and then instead of playing it as the dominant 7 that we did here, we play it as the diminished 7th chord. So I hope you're going to practice, and once you are comfortable in this key, like in the key where I've done the tutorial, please, you can extend it to all the other keys so that you are capable of figuring it out in any scale. Bye bye. That's all we had for today. I wish you a nice practice. Let's meet in the next tutorial.